Hello, Daisy Cakes! Today we're going to be looking at the 1969 Hugo Awards. Why? Because I am Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. This is a series where I look at the nominees from older Hugo and Nebula Awards to pick one nominee to add to my TBR. And today we're doing the 1969 Hugos. There's going to be a lot of repeats from the 1968 Nebula Awards because, again, the Nebula nominees are chosen from the year of publication, and the Hugo nominees are the year they are announced. So they're a year apart. Anyway, let's go ahead and read the nominees. I'll tell you who won. We'll read the blurbs, and then we'll choose one book to add to our TBR. So without further ado, the nominees for the 1969 Hugo Awards are The Goblin Reservation by Clifford D. Simak, Nova by Samuel R. Delany, Past Master by R.A. Lafferty, Rite of Passage by Alexei Panshin, and Stand on Zanzibar by John Brunner. And the winner is Stand on Zanzibar by John Brunner. Now, if you've been following me, you know I picked Stand on Zanzibar from the Nebula nominees, and I'll put a review up here. Unfortunately, I DNF'd it, and I feel really guilty about it. I recognize this is a great work, and I even enjoyed the writing. I thought it was very experimental and literary, but the time I read it, it just wasn't for me. But let's go ahead and read the blurb for Stand on Zanzibar. Norman Niblockhouse is a rising executive at General Technics, one of a few all-powerful corporations. His work is leading General Technics to the forefront of global domination, both in the marketplace and politically. It's about to take over a country in Africa. Donald Hogan is his roommate, a seemingly sheepish bookworm, but Hogan is a spy, and he's about to discover a breakthrough in genetic engineering that will change the world and kill him. These two men's lives weave through one of science fiction's most praised novels. Written in a way to echo John Dos Passos' USA trilogy, Stand on Zanzibar is a cross-section of a world population by the billions, where society is squeezed into hive-living madness by godlike megacomputers, mass-marketed psychedelic drugs, and mundane uses of genetic engineering. Though written in 1968, it speaks of 2010 and is frighteningly prescient and intensely powerful. So there you have it. The blurb is fantastic. You can see why I picked it for the Nebula nominees. Unfortunately, it wasn't for me. I recognize how awesome this book is for some of you, maybe you. So I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get through it here in 2026, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll give it a try again. Now let's move on to the two other books that were also included in the Nebula nominees. The first one being Past Master by R.A. Lafferty. Now, I recognize the name, R.A. Lafferty. I don't remember reading anything by that person. Let's go ahead and read the blurb. The golden planet of Astrobe, made in the image of Utopia, now faced a crisis which could destroy it forever, and yet no one could understand it. In a world where wealth and comfort went free to everyone, why did so many desert the golden cities for the slums of Cathead and the Barrio? Why did they turn away from the Astrobe dream and seek lives of bone-crushing work, squalor, and disease? The rulers of Astrobe didn't know, so they sought in humankind's past for a leader who could give them the answers. They brought to life the one man out of history who would most want to destroy Astrobe. Now, I had mentioned before when I saw it on the nebulas, I love this cover that I picked up, but we're not choosing books by the cover. And I guess it's about snatching some historical figure from the past, which kind of reminds me of Immortality, Inc. by Sheckley, which I picked and reviewed a few months ago. I'll put that one up here. I'm curious about this one, especially because I am kind of fascinated by utopias, especially ones that don't work, because doesn't that make it a dystopia? The other novel that was listed for the 1968 Nebula nominees was Rite of Passage. And I've never heard of this author, Alexei Panshin. So that's kind of exciting. But let's go ahead and read the blurb. In 2198, 150 years after the desperate wars had destroyed an overpopulated Earth, man lives precariously on 100 hastily established colony worlds and in the 7 giant ships that once ferried men to the stars. Mia Havero's ship is a small, closed society. It tests its children by casting them out to live or die in a month of trial in the hostile wilds of a colony world. Mia Havero's trial is fast approaching, and in the meantime, she must learn not only the skills that will keep her alive, but the deeper courage to face herself and her world. Published in 1968, Alexei Panshin's Nebula Award-winning classic has lost none of its relevance, with its keen exploration of societal stagnation and the resilience of youth. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Rite of Passage won the Nebula for 1968. So that's a mark in its favor. I don't believe overpopulation is as relevant today as it was in the 1960s. Also, I'm not sure if I'm really interested in a trial for survival. Another nominee is Nova by Samuel R. Delany. I have read this one. In fact, it used to be the 2 Delany books I'd recommend was Triton and Nova and Babel 17. But yeah, so I won't be picking it for this game since I've already read it. But let's go ahead and read the blurb. These are at least some of the ways you could read Nova. As a fast-action, far-flung interstellar adventure, as an archetypal, mystical, mythical allegory in which the Tarot and the Grail both figure prominently, as a modern myth told in the SF idiom, the reader observes, recollects, or participates in a range of personal experience, including violent pain and disfigurement, sensory deprivation and overload, man-machine communion, the drug experience, the creative experience, and interpersonal relationships, which include incest and assassination, father-son, leader-follower, human, pet, and lots more. The balance of galactic power in the 31st century revolves around Illyrian, the most precious energy source in the universe. The varied and exotic crew who sign up with Captain Lork Van Ray know their mission is dangerous, and they soon learn that they are involved in a deadly race with the charismatic but vicious leader of an opposing space federation. But they have no idea of Lork's secret obsession to gather Illyrian as a source by flying through the very heart of an imploding star. I can't recommend Samuel R. Delany enough, and Nova is a great place to start if you are interested. Of course, I won't be picking it here. Now let's move on to the final nominee, The Goblin, Reservation by Clifford D. Simak. First Class Entertainment, The Sunday Times, from a classic SF author. En route to an interplanetary research mission, a scientist is abducted by a strange, shadowy race of aliens and taken to a previously uncharted planet, a storehouse of information that would be invaluable even to an Earth so advanced that time travel allows goblins, dinosaurs, even Shakespeare to coexist. Oh my gosh, this seems wild. I'm getting flashbacks to Shakespeare's Planet by Clifford D. Simak. I kind of want to read this, but I've already reviewed 2 Clifford D. Simak books for this series, so I don't think I'll be going with the Goblin Reservation, even though it sounds so interesting. So look at all the nominees. Like I said, I'm not going to do yet another Clifford D. Simak. I'm not going to, of course, do Stand on Zanzibar since I already DNF'd it. Which leaves, and I'm not doing Nova because I've already read it. So that leaves Rite of Passage and Past Master. Now, of these 2, I know of the author R.A. Lafferty, and I've never heard of Alexei Panshin, but I'm not sure about this survival trial and overpopulation. And this did win the Nebula. You know what? I'm going to go with Past Master by R.A. Lafferty. I want to read something by Lafferty, and I don't recall reading anything by him before, although I might have. And this does seem intriguing. This utopia that's really not a utopia, so they have to bring in some historical figure to tell them what's what. What about you? Have you read or do you want to read any of these 1969 Hugo nominees? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Keep an eye out for next time when I review Past Master by R.A. Lafferty. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.